Herm, how are you?
I'm well, and I think the city of Philadelphia is normal again. Obviously, everything was good for about the first 4 weeks, and then they hit a little bit of a skid where they couldn't score points, and they found their way last week, which was good. And hopefully they can continue to play like that. I mean, they played solid football on both sides of the ball, I thought, and that was a good sign. I still worry a little bit about the back end of the defense. In the secondary, but I thought, they got a little bit of a pass rush. Graham coming back, that's going to help. I mean, the old G is coming back, and that's a good thing because they've lost so many defensive linemen. And you could see that was a trouble spot for them early in the season.
Herm, did you ever get the itch to come back after you retired? I know
no.
you pretty much got right into coaching, but did you have the itch like Brandon had?
I think. Yeah, I didn't. I knew when I was done, I was done. I was actually. I was in Atlanta then. I had left Philly and went to Atlanta, and about halfway through, I just said, I watched myself on tape, and I said, I don't want to put that on tape. That's not me. And walked in and told Coach, I'm done. He looked at me and said, What are you talking about, done? I said, I'm done. So what are you gonna do? I said, I don't know, but I can't do this anymore. I said, I don't want to look at myself on tape playing like that. I pride myself at playing at a certain level, and I can't do it anymore. And then I went right into coaching. Went to San Jose State, started coaching the secondary, and then from there kind of, worked my way up the ladder.
And here we are. So you talked about the offense looked good last week. A lot of conversations about identity, what the offense's identity is. And I know as fans and as media, we just want them to have an identity. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and you can't force it. But in all the teams that you coached, I mean, can you go through a season without really having an offensive identity? And how do you get that? And where do you think the Eagles are with that right now?
Well, I think Kevin was trying to figure out the workload of the star players. Right, it starts with the runner, and then Smith and Brown, and those four guys have to be involved in the offense along with the quarterback. He touches the ball, so you're going to get him involved. And whether you RPO him at times, I mean those are the guys. That's the menu you got. You can call any play you want, but at the end of the day, these are my guys, and I got to get them involved in the game. And I think it took him a little while, and now it's kind of flowing. When you look at Barkley, in my opinion, I mean, this is just me. I'm not there, but he's touched the ball 113 times, I guess thus far. Last year, he carried the ball, 345 times. Now, he's not going to do that this year, but for a guy like that, I was always, when I was a head coach, I always went to the coordinator and I said, look, here's the deal. When receiver-wise, I said, you got to target this guy 10 times, 12 times. When I had Tony Gonzalez, I said, look, we got to target Tony 12 times. Now, whether he gets it or not, we can't do anything about that, but he's got to be in the plan 12 targets. And it could change, as the game goes on. Barkley, to me, he's got to touch the ball 20 times. You got to touch 20 times a game. You got to find a way to give him the ball 20 times. So you got to look at it and go, okay, how do I, stay out of third downs? Because if I stay out of third downs and I just keep playing, we get more reps. If I stay in a lot of third downs, I got to convert them. If not, I'm not getting enough plays because I got to spread the ball around. So I think they're kind of figuring that out. But, they looked good last week against a pretty good football team in Minnesota. So if they can continue to do that, they're going to be hard to deal with.
Herm, you're obviously following the Eagles very closely. I wonder if you're following.
I follow them all, but I follow these guys a little closer.
I know that from talking to you over the years. But A.J. Brown has been on social media a couple times now. He was on Twitter, and he was putting out these cryptic posts. And then yesterday on Instagram, he did something similar. And so now it leaves us, fans and media, to say, is he unhappy? We know there's been some unhappiness with the offense. You had just talked about Saquon needs to get his touches. As a head coach, how do you manage, and, man, it's even different today from when you were in the NFL, big time, with social media. How do you manage the wide receiver, the quarterback dynamic, making sure everybody gets their touches? How did you manage it, and what advice would you give to Nick Sirianni about it?
Well, it's real simple. Nick's has got to call him in and say, look, man, we're going to target you, 12 times, 15 times in a football game. Now, I can't tell the coverage where, if they double you, we can't go to you. But I'm going to move you around and try to get you, 12, 15 targets. Why? We need you to get the ball. And when you tell him that, it says, now the game's going to get played. And so I'm sorry. If they do things to take you away, I got to go to the second read or I got to go somebody else because he's got to understand he's number 11. Everybody knows where number 11 lines up. And if you're going into a game, the first thing I'm saying as a defensive guy, look, it's hard to take the runner away because you can turn around and give the runner the ball, okay? You can't take the running back out of the mix because it's easy to give him the ball. He's behind the line of scrimmage. You turn around and give him the ball. Okay, that's easy. Wide receivers, well, you got to have a plan. How do I get this guy the ball? And you got to move him around. And I think they're doing it. They get to move him inside the slot sometimes, put him at Z, put him at X, send him in motion. Do whatever you got to do and say, hey, man, you good. And if he ain't good with that, then you know what? After this year, I don't know. He'll probably be on his third team. This is the way it goes. There's a reason he left Tennessee. All that stuff that it was in Tennessee now is in Philadelphia. Except you're winning, and the guy won a Super Bowl. So you would think he won a Super Bowl. He's a big-time receiver, but you did win a Super Bowl. You know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl? It's difficult. He won't understand that until he's my age. He gets in his 70s, he's going to look back at his career and say, I did win a Super Bowl. All the numbers are great, but at the end of the day, I won me a Super Bowl. That's pretty good.
So how do you, if you're Nick Sirianni, how do you try to address this with AJ? Because the team's good enough to win a Super Bowl, like you had said. How would you address it?
Just call him in. You just call him in. It's a private meeting, and no one needs to know except you and AJ. I mean, you just call him in. And he might not agree, but it's okay. You told him. So, hey, man, this is the deal. So you go on social media all you want. That's what you want to do, knock yourself out. We're moving on. We're trying to win next week. I mean, it's just, hey, in today's world, boy, it's hard, man. It's hard coaching. But that's just him. And the players are used to it. It's not like, oh, this is out of character. No, that's him. That's okay. Let him do him. Just, hey, man, we're going to throw you the ball Sunday. Just catch it. Score some touchdowns for him.
Herm, Sam Stafford here. BG, you mentioned it. He's back this season. Do you think that his role is going to be bigger on the field or as a leader in the clubhouse or locker room?
Well, he's been away, right? So how much can he, it's easy to say, I'm coming back. But then you got to go play, right? And I think he's going to be really good in the locker room, obviously. And I think in the game, too, he'll bring a presence in the huddle. I mean, he's a class guy. I mean, he's a great player, and he gets respect. But I think you're going to have to bring him along slow. I mean, his workload is not going to be, a lot right now because you want to protect him of himself. And you don't want to get him hurt. You got enough guys hurt already. So you got to bring him along slow and then see how it goes.
How difficult is it for Nick Sirianni this year? Because a lot of times you'll have this Super Bowl hangover, and it's so hard to win year to year in the NFL. Like, how tough is it, Herm, to come back the next year? Everybody's making adjustments. You see it. The Commanders aren't the same team that they were last year. How tough is it for the Eagles to do what they're trying to do this year?
It's very difficult. And, I think when you go through something like what he's going through, I think what happened to him, you win one last year, the first guy I would call would be, and he knows Andy, I'd call Andy and say, how did you deal with this? And how did the team deal with this? Because until you've done it, and you've done it one time, you don't know. You don't know how to deal with it. You think you do, but you don't. So the first call I would have made was to Andy because the Chiefs found a way to deal with it, and they get through it, and they, ripped off a couple of them, right? Or you call Bill Belichick. You call those guys that have done it, right? And sometimes, it's difficult. It's very difficult, and because you're everybody's big game. It's kind of it almost like college football, right? I mean, when you're the number one team in the country in college football, every time you play, teams might be lesser than you, but you're the big game for everybody. Everybody's going to play their best because they're playing you. So, I mean, it doesn't take a lot to motivate a team that plays you. They can say, hey, man, we're playing the Super Bowl champs. That's all you got to say. Oh, we're playing Super Bowl champs. Okay. My era, anytime we played the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Dallas Cowboys, because the Dallas Cowboys and Pittsburgh Steelers are always in Super Bowls, we went, oh, man, Super Bowls. Okay, these are the guys. Can you beat them? We had to play Dallas twice. And we were like, okay, when we start beating these guys, then we'll get to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the mindset of a football team.
Herm, Giants Sunday, I know you saw. We all saw the Thursday night game where fourth quarter the Giants were just running right through them. That was really difficult to watch. We saw the Giants blow a big lead last week, but they got a young quarterback that can play. Are you expecting the Eagles to come out and say, "Yep, we weren't ready for that game. That was the worst game of the season"? What are you expecting on Sunday with the Eagles and the Giants?
Well, it's a division game. And anytime it's a division game, it's big. It counts for two. It's a game and a half if you win. And they've already lost to the Giants. And all of a sudden, you look at it and you look in your division, you go, okay, well, when you look at the division, you go, okay, we got a loss. The Giants have two division losses, but they beat us. And, here we go. I hate to say it, but the Cowboys only got one division loss, right? And Washington has one division loss. So this is a big game. I mean, a real big game. And the fact it's a division game. You've already lost a division game. So, and the Giants are they're a pesky team. I mean, they keep fighting, and they showed you that. I mean, they never say die, right? And their fan base is excited about their quarterback and Scatterboo, the runner, and they're all excited about the Giants, and they should be. They got the quarterback of the future, and this guy brings a lot of energy. But all that being said, Eagles are a better football team. I'm going to tell you that right now. The Eagles are a better football team. Now, they got to show up and play like that. And I think they will. I mean, look, the Giants had their way with them. I mean, they lost to them 34-17. I mean, so come on.
Herm, always appreciate you doing great stuff on ESPN again, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.